What we're trying to see here is that we always want to scale and onboard more people to know that the data can be valuable. What if that there's a new product that doesn't charge us anymore? Not charging us like Aura like $6 or like $30, no more subscription. Instead of that, it actually can pay us back. Fitness wellness and longevity is actually just like a new language.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Unleashing DePIN Podcast. My name is Tyler. I'm your host, and I'm excited for this next guest that we get to have on the pod. We have Edison from Cudis Ring. Edison, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. I've got my Gen 1 on my finger. Gen 2 is on the way. I'm very excited about that. This has been an episode that I've been really looking forward to because I've been health data fitness nut for a long time, was using, call it the Web 2 products before, and I was eagerly waiting for someone to build the crypto version of that. And so when I first saw your original announcement, it was, gosh, like a year and a half ago at this point, I was very excited. So can't wait for this conversation. But maybe before we dive into everything that you're building at Cudis, I'd love to just get to learn a little bit more about you, maybe start with your background, how you got here, and we can jump into it from there.
Yeah, for sure. First, I want to thank you to have me here, and also happy to hear that you're our first batch of users, and also I know you're using other wearables, and I think that means a lot to us. And so I've been into the space since 2016 after I sold my first company, and starting from the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Solana and a lot of other crypto projects in the space. First doing a lot of the personal investment and then trading. And in 2019, got into the consumer tech, and I was studying the UCLA, so I'm super fan of all the sports and really into the fitness and wellness. And yeah, and 2021 to 2023, I'm doing the venture capital to help them to managing like $200 million fund, including crypto, consumer tech, and global brand business. So if you look at the Cudis, you can feel that it's like connecting the dots of all my previous working backgrounds, crypto, wearables, and brand business. Yeah, and that's something we want to share with the people and build something into crypto as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. I'm curious, what was your first sort of introduction to DePIN as a category, as a concept? A lot of times people get in through Helium, but given the fact that you've been in crypto for so long, like was there kind of a different path into DePIN, if you will?
Yeah, I would say that in my mind that the very first we caught a DePIN product is actually back to the Bitcoin. All the Bitcoin miners, that makes me feel like, that was the actually even the ancestor of all the DePINs, right? And then there's a lot of the different token, different miners. And then we have the idea or say concept about the DePIN after Messari write a report and analysis on this category. And for us that we're thinking, for people that if we want to getting more consumer on board, we have to build something that they can use for their daily life and also meaningful for them to use every day, right? And also if they can bring them outside and having them with them and they can easily share with others, right? So when we think about all this, like a wearable is perfect match, right? That helping people track all the data and every small wearable that could be work perfectly with the phone as another nodes and to build the whole network and also build the whole data infrastructure to help people benefit from the data. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a huge value add. I've certainly referred quite a few friends to pick one up.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, a best friend of mine here, she just got one and we saw each other in ETH Denver a couple weeks back and she had it. She's like, I got my ring, I'm wearing it. It's so cool. I love it. It was really great. But I guess one of the things that's really interesting is you've had such a, call it diverse background in crypto and just startups and I totally, like, it feels like a very logical conclusion to come to, like a wearable's a great use case, whether it's for data collection or some of these other things. But was there like a specific situation that happened just in your personal life that was an additional driver to say, hey, we want to build something like Cudis? Were you using some of the other wearable trackers that were not crypto native beforehand and you thought, man, there's a better way to do this with data? Is that something you can unpack for us a little bit? I'm just curious about the origin story here.
100%. Yeah. I've been using a lot of the different wearables. And at that moment, I was definitely using the Aura and the Whoop. And I would feel like I just start with the conversation with my friends that I'm saying, okay, what if that there's a new product that doesn't charge us anymore. Not charging us like or like the $6 or like $30. No more subscription. Instead of that, it actually can pay us back because we all knew at that moment the house that already becoming very valuable. We know that. But nothing like Cudis before actually think about this way and also respect that the user's house data will be a valuable asset, or say they all know, right? But they keep data with themselves, right? Running their business and building the subscription model mainly for helping people to look into their data. But I think that should be very fundamental things, right? So actually, everything starts from my experience using all this wearable. And then we have the feeling and we have the thinking that if we can actually own our money through the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all the stable coins and all the other cryptos, why can't we just own our house data on blockchain as well, right? And once we have the ownership, we can definitely benefit from our data because whoever want to use our data, they're going to pay us, right? In every different way, right? They can give us the cash, token airdrop, product services reward, benefits, coupon vouchers, you name it. But only if we own it, then we can enjoy the benefits. Yeah. So you're right that when we come up with this idea, we are actually using experience all the different products in this industry before, and then we have the idea. So that's something we should build around.
Yeah, that's huge. And I don't know if everybody's necessarily aware of this, but a lot of the other health trackers, as you alluded to, like the Aura and the Whoop, they've got these ongoing subscription costs. They can get pretty expensive, especially on the Whoop side. So I think that's such a huge competitive advantage that you're able to bring. Not only do you have like a device that's at feature parity, which I definitely want to jump into, but you're really turning the model on its head. So maybe one thing that we can dive into a little bit to help folks understand who maybe aren't a customer yet is the different types of data that you're tracking within the Cudis. What are those data types? There's things like heart rate variability, sleep. Can you unpack some of the different sensors and all the data collection that customers are actually able to collect and be able to view through your app?
Yeah, for sure. Cudis have been launching a lot of different updates on the application for past year and a half. And so far for now, user can track their sleep, heart rate, HRV, RHR, blood oxygen, steps, calorie, stress level, vitality, and all these sort of things. And at the same time, we are developing more features, right? We already built within the sensor in the Cudis 02. And in the next few months, we'll launch some more tracking biometric data features into the app as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one of the things that I can say, having tested the Cudis against the other ones that are in there, you are genuinely at feature parity in terms of the data that you're able to collect. And you guys are continually rolling out app updates, which I think is so amazing. I'm curious, with different metrics like HRV or blood oxygen and whatnot, how many sensors are in the actual device to be able to do that? Is it like one sensor and you can extrapolate the data to calculate those things? This has always been something I've been interested in from the actual data collection side. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. We build within like 5 sensors, so allow user can fulfill their basic needs for the biometric and also the vitals they need for every day. I'll say I think in the future, maybe in the next couple of years, the next couple of generations, we are able to build in within more sensors and getting people to more features in the future. I think that's definitely possible. So far for now, I think the Cudis 02 can already helping people to tracking a lot of the things that matters, right, every day based on the 5 sensors that we're building the ring.
Yeah, like I said, the data collection is really quite powerful. So if you're into fitness or if you're just into healthy lifestyle, you want to know these things, whether it's stress, whatever. I know stress and sleep were the big drivers for me outside of just fitness and health tracking, which is really huge. One of the other things that's cool about your app is that you've got an AI trainer. So there's additional incentive or kind of help. Talk to me about that experience for people that either have the ring or are people able to use the app even if they don't have the ring?
Yeah. People can definitely use the app without the ring, and now allow user to connect with 70 different wearable brand and health app to allow them to integrate the data, sync up them into the Cudis app and help them to own the data on chain. And at the same time, that the AI coach that in day one, we want to build it because we know finding a one-on-one personal coach is pretty expensive, right?
Yeah.
And we're thinking that we have a vision that in the next 5 to 10 years, people don't need to knowing or learning everything by spending 100 or 500 thousands of dollars on personal coach, but they can learn a lot of things through the AI coach at the beginning, and then they can spend money with coach for sure. I would say AI. I don't think AI will replace everyone, right? But I think all the repetitive things and also very entry-level fundamental things that AI can definitely bring a lot of use case to all the users. And also we work with a lot of amazing coach and help them to build up their own program together with us on the AI coach. So let's say you are a coach, right? You don't want to repeat all the things same to all your clients, right? So in the future, we think we can help them to build up the fundamental program into the AI coach, and they can also use this as a tool to build up their business. And also for the user, it's so easy to tap into that. They don't need to make a call or text or say find a coach that they think fits them, but they can actually build up a very customized and personalized AI coach toward the Cudis app and with us. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. One of the things that you said, this is interesting. I actually didn't realize that your app supports this, is that you can connect other wearables and then have ownership or be able to monetize your data. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I think that's a really big unlock for people that maybe already have, whether it's like an Apple Watch. And then also, can you share some of the common wearables that are able to connect to the app?
Yeah, recently got a lot of the Garmin users. And so they're able to connect the Garmin with Cudis app, and also they can update the data from the Garmin as long as the Garmin share the data like within their API to other apps. Then we are able to help them to sync up to the Cudis app as well. What we're trying to see here is that we always want to scale and onboard more people to know that the data can be valuable, right? And so you don't necessarily need to have the Cudis Ring to get the reward, but definitely if you have the ring, you can get all the types of the reward. But even with your existing wearables, we already want to onboard you and get you to try out how your data looks like and how valuable they can be, right? So that's how it works. And also we can see recently there's a lot of the Aura user connect their Aura rings to the Cudis app and at the same time. We think it's pretty interesting because we can feel that people trying to see how this work. And we believe that in the future, there will be more people now in the future that they want to try out the Cudis app and then convert them to the Cudis Ring user as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense for kind of your rollout or go-to-market plan. And it's nice that if you already have one of these wearables and you want to grab a ring, but you're not quite sure you can actually see that process of the data. At the end of the day, really the monetization, the value capture piece is on the data side. And so I think you've taken a unique approach to data ownership with users. Can you unpack how you've really built that into the user experience, whether it's how users can manage and own their data in terms of the monetization piece, maybe some of the privacy when you're talking about health data, there's a lot of these other privacy concerns. How have you built the app experience around that feature set for users with Cudis?
Yeah, 100%. Actually, today we just have a very big updates on the AI coach. It's actually really big part around the data as well. People being worried about that. Oh, I'm using the AI. I'm asking them a lot of questions. What if they're sharing all the information with other, like the big model, like then other people will know. But goes by time that we recently find out that also, like a lot of people already cannot live their life without AI, right? So they have to work. A lot of my colleagues work with AI, and a lot of my partners, the people, my friends I know, and the people I know that are using AI every day, right? And actually, I think as long as the AI is powerful enough, people actually really, what they really focus on is that, would that be useful to me, right? And also there's a lot of argument about people don't care about their ownership. People don't care about the price of data. I'll have to admit that, yes, for some of the people, yes, because that's always a mindset things, right? For me, I would say that my data, I think should be already everywhere, right? It's my phone number, my address, my email, even some of my house data, it could be already somewhere else and I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do here is that definitely we want to still building something around the user's data privacy and trying to figure out a way that can provide users privacy on the data, but at the same time, allow them to benefit from their data as well. And the reason why I bring up about the AI agent coach that we just launched, the new updates, is that in the new AI agent coach model that we allow user to, and we empower user to share their data with their AI agent. And they can talk one-on-one, and they can start designing their own training program. And also the AI coach can help them to keep on track in the future as well. Not just the Cudis Ring as a tracker for them, but also the AI coach as one of the most important part for them to hold accountability for them. And for the data, we think only if you get the ownership of your data and put the data on chain, you can start to enjoy the benefits and the rights of your data, right? And without data on chain, you're not able to share your data with other AI agents in the future, right? And especially the agents that people are really excited about, right? In the past few months, there's a lot of AI agents launched on the blockchain, and everybody talking about how we can use them, right? I would say like without data, that it's so hard to play around with your AI. They all need more information. They all need more data. And and also in terms of the future we want to build is actually a new vision on the longevity. So everybody knows the longevity is pretty expensive things for somehow purpose. But actually we think that if we can own our house data and if we can benefit from our house data, it's actually going to make the old experience very affordable. When we talk about fitness, wellness, they all cost money. And when talk to the longevity, it even costs more. So how we can benefit from our own like data to get the rewards and also to cover all the costs. So that's something we're thinking, and that's something we're designing and building around the data, and make sure that in the future, all the data we help people to own can pay them back. Yeah.
That's huge. Talk to me about the path to data monetization. What does it look like or maybe the first question is, who are the types of buyers of the data? And then what is going to be the path, or what is the path for them to purchase this information, to leverage it? Can you talk about the demand side on the data capture a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. Recently, we've received a lot of the application from the DeFi partners. So they want to tap into the real human data and help them to build and doing the build up and design the research, and also developing the product and services. And at the same time that in the biotech, that it's always hard to find the user and help them to figure out that which product is the best fit, and also help them to test out the product, program, services, and treatment, all the sort of things. With Cudis, they're going to be like a very active, like a house data user community, and also they can provide all the data to those partners. So recently we have insurance company, telehealth company, DeFi projects, longevity product and the services, gene therapy, and all these companies. There's some big ones, some small ones, and some big farm. They're all looking for the data, and they all looking for like all different type of the house data, and it can help them to develop and build up customized product, or say personalized product and services for users, right? So these are all the demand side of the house data. So actually the digital house data is a really, really huge market. It's $100 billion, even like $1 trillion market. And and I'll name the one big thing that got the goosebump is the house, right? The Apple House is actually going to be the largest business that Apple ever got, right? Because they are using the app and using the Apple Watch help 100 millions of people to track their house data, and they're building the Apple House to helping a lot, or say to work with a lot of the other hospital, medical companies, and fitness wellness, and also in the future, like I believe there are a lot of longevity centers to build up the new products, right? So all these new things, the research, they need house data to build up the new things. So that's a huge demand side there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there's definitely a big market there. I never really considered the fact that Apple's going to have a monumental business just off the Apple Health data, but it's true, right? They've been collecting that from a lot of people for a long time.
Crazy.
That's going to be massive. Speaking of some of your other kind of milestones or traction metrics, you guys are on the Gen 2 of the Ring, and you've sold about 15,000 so far. Is that right? Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about kind of the transition from the first gen to the second gen, maybe some of those milestones that you're particularly proud of, or just other developments along that journey that maybe people aren't aware of.
Yeah, 100%. So the first Ring was not easy. It's actually very challenging for us to build that. And the second one is a even harder things, because once you launch the first generation, you always want to build up a better one and to share with your community, right? And in terms of building the hardware product, there's a lot of different part of the design, right? From the material you use, and from the technology and the sensor and the craftsmanship you're using there, and also the design. And when we're building that, we always thinking that what's the first one already bring to the market and bring to the user, what the experience and the feeling that we find is great, and what the other things that people want to have, and how we can get that to the user with the second generation, right? A lot of people pretty like the first generation design. I also really like it. And when they look at the second generation, a lot of people saying, "Oh wow, where's the ceramic? It cannot be rotated anymore. So why did you guys like it? Just drop the design?" That was one of the bad things that I have. I love it. And also we also find out a lot of the users, they want something lighter, simpler, and looking for a more comfortable, like the comforts on the wearing rings, right? So that's why we come up with the second design of the ring. And thanks for the venture that we fund in the past year and allow us to support us to launch the second generation really fast last December. Yeah. So always want to build up the new product and can fulfill the people's needs. And also we already receive a new requirements and needs, and we are write them down. We got a list and try to see if the next generation we can build up something always different.
I can't imagine that building that initial ring or even the second gen was trivial by any means. So yeah, definitely hats off to you guys for being able to just make that happen and bring it to market, because it's a very cool milestone in and of itself. One of the things that I'm interested in, and I've seen some information online with respect to the concept of gamification, because you're in a pretty unique position where as you're collecting this data, you can incentivize people to potentially create more of that by gamifying some of the experiences around working out or this, that, the other. How is the concept of gamification going to find itself in the app experience or just the user experience for customers?
Yeah. So I think everything you see so far in the Cudis app, I think is only the first stage. We're trying to show people the idea about how we want to gamification the fitness and wellness journey. And in the future, we're going to bring more. When we build up the app, we think about the Duolingo. We really like the Duolingo app, and it helped a lot of people knowing nothing about another language, but until they learn the language and they can speak and write and read fluently. I think it's amazing. It's a magic things, and they've been built for decades. And so that's also the thing we want to build for the user in the fitness, wellness, and longevity, right? Because fitness, wellness, and longevity is actually just like a new language, right?
Yeah.
If you know that, okay, if you don't eat too many rice or noodles, and you can actually be really healthy and it looks pretty young, because you're not taking a lot of carbohydration and not taking a lot of sugars. Sugar is not just sugar, right? All the rice, noodle, bread you're eating, they have sugar, right? A lot of the fruit have the sugar, and a lot of drink have sugar. So you need to know, right? You need to learn the knowledge, right? So when we see all the gamification within the app, is thinking about how we can bring the more knowledge to the people, right? So based on that thinking, that we think so far what we built is just a stage one, right? We haven't bring enough knowledge to user yet. We think there's a lot of things we can help people to know without spending crazy money, right?
Yeah.
If you can learn what you are eating and how the nutrition, the food plan can affect your fitness, healthness, and wellness, and health and longevity, then actually we can help you to save tons of money. So we want to show people you're not just learning, you're not just being healthier every day, you're also saving a lot of the money for yourself for reducing the future potential risk of all the kind of the diseases. So that's something we want to build for user. And also we want to build something alongside the health, the fitness and the wellness and the longevity trackable. We want people to find a way to know, okay, am I aging or am I anti-aging, right? Or am I gonna being better performance or say like physically and also like mentally better in next 10 years, right? Am I gonna look like just like now after 10 years, right? That's so possible. I think that's something we want to getting people to know all the knowledge around that. And then I think that will be a tremendous value for the user. Yeah.
Yeah. And to your point, it is a little bit tricky. Like I went down the Brian Johnson, Gary Brecka, Andrew Huberman rabbit hole a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much. And if you want to get access to those types of people to help you, it's expensive. And so the fact that you're able to guide them along that journey, I think is really awesome. And in that vein, you also released a on-chain emotional tracking journal as well. Can you talk to me a little bit about how that found itself into your product roadmap?
Yeah, 100%. Like all the different things we are just talked about, I think for every individual, and not just your physical health matters, but also your mental health, right? Only two ways to crash one man, right? Is either physical health crash or mental health crash, right? So we think we also really want to take care like the user's mental health as much as possible as we can. So at the moment that we, in the second generation of the Ring, we built up the stress tracking, and that's something very showing people the facts, right? What's your stress level? But at the same time, I also want to know how people feel about themselves objectively, right? Maybe I'm not actually stressed. I'm just like very activated, or I'm just very energetic, but my stress level could be high, right? Because that's actually based on your like heart rate tracking. And so we want to know how people feel objectively, how you feel, right? And are you feeling like a drain or like a tired or like steady or energetic? So we want people to make a journal around themselves and try to record all their feeling every day and put it on chain. Make sure they're not like change it. Now you feel like you're energetic, and after 2 hours you feel like tired and change it. We don't want to see that, right? We want people to feel like, okay, every day, maybe in the morning, how you feel, right? And then we help you to track on that and see how you feel about it. And then in the future, we're going to show people the comparison, right? Maybe in the past months, how many days you feel energetic, how many days you feel like pretty tired. And then comparing to your stress level and comparing to your like sleep, right? Comparing to your the sports. Have you taken like sports at that moment, and have you just been lazy, and show people the results, right? With all these different input of the data and the people's feeling, we want people to see, okay, your mental health matters when it comes to your health and wellness. And also in the future, there's studies showing people that usually when people getting old, there's hundreds of the diseases, and then 90% actually correlated with your mental health. And so actually it's mental health sometimes way more important than the physical health. Right? If you can being a happy person and you can always be easy on yourself and always try to find a way to make yourself comfortable, you can actually live a longer life and a very long health span and with a better quality of your life. Like unhappy, very sad, and always feeling bad about yourself, about your life. And then probably when you're getting old, there's hundreds of different diseases waiting for you. Right? So we want people to know that start taking some time, look into your mental health could be very long-term benefits and going to bring you a tremendous return on the time you invest in there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you're so right that your mental health plays a big role in terms of just your body's ability. It's almost like it's not necessarily a placebo effect, but if you're excited or if you're happy, that does translate to these biomarkers, which is an interesting thing to wrap your mind around in a lot of respects. And the fact that you're able to track those two things in conjunction with one another is really awesome. I'm curious on the health data side, are you able to leverage the tracker to detect anomalies or other maybe potential problems that may be coming down the pike as a result of some of those markers?
Yeah, I think that's something very possible, right? Recently, we are doing something different. We want to, in the next few months, help people to bring more report and also we will say like more data beyond the wearables, right? How we can do that, right? We are helping people to getting more access to blood tests or say a different type of test. A couple weeks ago, we're doing the isolation test back in Hong Kong, the consensus, and we're trying to get people to know more about themselves, your biological age, your age of your organs, and what were your exposure on the risk on your like health, right? What's the risk? Is that like a cigarette or like alcohol or environment or other type of things, right?
Yeah.
And also we want people to, if they want to, they can put more information into the app, and we're getting the AI coach working together, or say the new analysis program that we are building around it is trying to help people to, based on their information and based on the data we help them to track, and to try to find out the potential risk, right? Potential risk for their like a daily life, right? So we're definitely seeing the possibility that we can send people the calendar reminder telling them starting from, okay, you are just like, you just need more sleep, right? And that's, we've been noticed you've been sleep like 4 hours every day, right? That's always happened when it comes to the or industry, right? Everybody like trying to stay at night and the trading and also look at all the news and other things. But at the same time, we're thinking based on all the data we help users to collecting and integrate it into the app, we can help them to find out is there any other potential risk, either from your heart or cardiology wise, or your mental health, or say even in the future, we can find out, are you having too much fat in your body, and how it can reduce the level of your fat in your body, and how it can gain more muscles, and also what's the possible risk you are facing when you have all these different data showing here, right? I have to say we are not yet as medical devices providing people any medical level devices. We are not, but we want to, just like your, best companion, just like when we are young, right? We ask our mom and dad, what's going on with me? Mom, I feel sick. What happened? At least we can have some like the daily fundamental level. We can tell them people that there's some risk that you're facing. And also that's bring them the advices as like they can take action with it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I would just want to circle back on one thing that you said, which was you did a methylation test for people at a conference.
Yeah.
Is that something that you might consider rolling out to people through at-home blood draw, or just like another potential product line in the future by chance?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. I'm not sure yet, but I'm not sure yet. Are we able to bring the methylation test to everyone? But we are 100% sure we're going to bring more longevity related product and services to our users, right? We're going to bring a very exclusive experience and make the Cudis community an exclusive one, right? You have the ring, in the future you have the token. It's a very token gated community, and we bring very exclusive product and services to the community members here. And also with very accessible and affordable price. So I think that's something really matters. I don't want to spend like tons of dollars on all the things. And we know there's a way we can make it more affordable. We can make all these things like the methylation test can be very expensive. Some people spend like $1,000, $2,000 every year to do the test. And we're actually doing the test for the community member at that day for free. So we want to show people, yes, sir. So we want to show to the people that's what the Cudis is about, what we're trying to build around, what we're trying to bring to the user. We know there's a lot of great product, and a lot of people don't have the gap on the information. And we try to find a way that we can bring this product to the user and with our partners through us and make it affordable to the user, and also like gathering all the data together and make now we're saying that make the longevity trackable, right? And keep people on the right track, and they will know, okay, comparing to like last time I take a task, and am I doing better or worse? And between two tasks, you're using the Cudis Ring, and we help you to set up all the goals and try to keep you. What's your goals, right? You want to gain more muscle, you want to be looking more into your heart rate or your heart health or your, other part of the organ's health, like liver and all the other things, and what you should do, right? So we want to help people to keep themselves on track between different like time frame, right? So you're right. We actually want to, starting from that, we want to bring more exclusive product and services to the community. And what we want to make the Cudis community one of the coolest community, and then make our members here can experience most of the value of being here. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's going to be a huge value add. I'm definitely excited to be a customer on that front. When it does come to fruition, outside of some of these other speculative things, what else is on the roadmap for the next few months, next few quarters for Cudis?
Yeah, 100%. In the next few weeks, we're going to launch the new Cudis white paper. And also we're going to sharing more things around it. And once it come out, I will definitely share the white paper together with you and get you to check it out as well. And we're going to keep building on the mental health part. We're starting with the energy level journaling, and we want to build more features around it. And currently we work with Backpack and Bybit. And in the next few weeks, we're going to work with more other wallet as services and bring the energy level journaling to more users. And also we're going to, in the next few months, we're definitely going to bring more products around health, wellness, and longevity, and bring to the community to try it out. Maybe we start from the offline events, and then in the future we can launch a more product and services within the app, and people can redeem the product and services in the future. Yeah.
That's exciting. That's exciting. What about your TGE? Is that coming up this year?
Yes, 100%. This is going to be one of the most important thing for us this year. Like what we discussed in the previous couple of the topics, we want to build a really exclusive, like token gated community. And at the same time, we want to show people the value of the Cudis token. And we at the moment that people will know, okay, what the value of my data and how valuable that I can be if I be with Cudis, have the Cudis Ring, and also holding the Cudis token, and how much value it can generate for me, right? In the past, we're doing a lot of the challenge, we're doing a lot of the raffle, and also reward with Solana, reward with the Cudis Ring, reward with the AMP, reward them with the points. And once we launch the token, I believe that will be very plausible, and also something people can see every day. How much value generating from my data, right? So that's some exciting moment for us, and we can see in the future. Yeah.
That's super cool. I'm very excited for all of that. Like I said, I think what you're building or what you have built so far is just a massive value add unlock for the community, for people that are interested and should care about their health data. You really, it's just a new paradigm. And so I'm so excited that you're here, that you're building what you're building, that you've gotten the adoption and the traction, because I think it really speaks to the long-term success viability of the project. Gosh, Edison, this has been such a great conversation. I'm so glad we got to get you on to learn about this. Was there anything else we didn't get a chance to cover that you want to share with folks before we wrap it up?
Yeah, and 2 new updates I want to share with Cudis community member. And if you're not here with Cudis yet, make sure you get on the Cudis website, cudis.xyz, or you download the Cudis app and be one of us. And we launch a new AI agent coach, and at the same time, we launch a new Cudis in White program. Everybody can become the ambassador of the Cudis, and you can influence more people to get them into the healthier lifestyle. And at the same time, that you're basically gonna get more rewarded through inviting people to build up the community together with us, right? And so that's 2 more things I want to share with the audience of the Unleashing DePIN. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. We'll definitely have all of the links to the website, to X, and to download the app in the description of this video so people can go check it out. We'll have a link to the ring for people to go purchase. What are you sold out right now, or can people still order rings?
Yeah. We just got all the restock, so people can still order ring. Yeah, we got everything, right? We just got like a really fast sold out, like when we launched the second generation, and then we working hard to like restock all the size and colors. And now you can feel free to having them like from the website. But I can see some of the color gonna sold out again.
Yeah, so definitely go get your order in soon so you can grab the perfect color and size and whatnot before it sells out. Well, Edison, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing so much. I like I said, I love what you're building. I love being a customer. Really excited about the future. And I think there's just so much on the table for what can happen with the community, with the product offering. But I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you again for coming on and sharing this. If you are interested in downloading the app, we will have that link below. If you do not have a ring, I highly recommend grabbing one. We'll have links and codes and all that kind of good stuff to be able to go and do that. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Edison, thanks for coming on, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.